those things that you did, so that's kind of like on the tactical side, but also the mindset or how you were thinking at the time play a role in helping you to make that transition?
Yeah, that's really insightful question, because that what came first really was this desire that I wanted to change my mindset. And what I started to believe, because I just kept hearing it as much as I could, that you define, I have this saying, you are where you are because you choose to be there, right? I don't know if I stole it from somebody. I don't think I did. I think I created it, but I could be wrong. So if I didn't give credit to somebody, I apologize. But what I learned through this process is, wait a minute, I am where I am, but you know what? I need to change my mindset. I need to believe that I can go out and buy a 28-unit apartment building, because my upbringing, I grew up in a small 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath house, about 800 square feet in Toledo, Ohio. I mean, there was nothing going on there. And so I said, all right, that's a jump from that, being an employee, to, okay, I'm going to do this on my own. So number one, you got to change your mind, right? You got to get your mind right. I'm sure you've heard that before, but it is the number one thing, because if you don't do that and you don't honestly believe it, the path to get from where you are to where you want to be is going to be hard. You're probably not going to have somebody holding your hand. You're going to be in charge of making your own decisions and doing it yourself. So you've got to rely on that belief and that drive. So then what I did was this is back when I think I was at Deloitte at the time. Maybe I was at the bank still. I can't recall now. But I spent about 1.5 years going to the apartment association meetings, taking their courses, making sure that I stayed after every time there was a seminar, and I talked to the speaker, and I formed relationships with those guys and gals. And I started to use them as mentors, because what happens after you've been doing something for a really long time, you get to know what you're doing, right? You understand it, and it actually becomes fun to help someone new in the business. And they gave me that lending hand. So, I met an attorney. I ended up being a partner with that attorney. I met another property manager who I would call from time to time for property management advice, and all these people. So I spent 1.5 years trying to learn the business, trying to put myself in a position where, when I did pull the trigger, that I was somewhat ready, or at least I thought I was somewhat ready. And then I just started looking at deals. So I looked at deals and I just started underwriting them. And I thought, how do they know what these numbers are? And then you dive into each number and you figure out, oh my gosh, you can prove out every single number on this profit and loss statement except maintenance and repairs, basically. So I figured that out. And so now I got more confident as I started to underwrite deals. And then when I came across this deal, I don't remember, I think somebody referred me to this guy who happens to be a very large owner in the Cleveland area. But the first deal I did, I actually paid an attorney to sort of be my mentor, be that person that blesses the deal. And he went through everything. He looked at everything. He had been in this business a long time. He said, Ken, I think you're going to be good. I think you're going to make $100,000 in 3 years. I said, really? Okay. I said, wow. So now I had done my own homework. I didn't imagine $100,000 at the time, but I thought, okay, I can buy this. I think I understand how to run it. And now I've got someone with a lot of experience whose advice I just literally paid for, who said, yeah, I think you're going to be good with this thing. And as it turns out, we did more than that. So that was thrilling. But making that first jump is the most difficult thing you will do. I can, to this day, remember standing in my kitchen and this golf ball sized lump in my throat, because I was about to sign on a $460,000 mortgage, which at the time there was no way I was going to, that would bankrupt me in a minute. Okay. That was just a super stressful event. So, but nonetheless, remember when I said you've got to get your mind right, because you're going to go through those stressful events. And a lot of times those stressful events, they shut you down. You're like, nope, can't do this. I'm too nervous. I'm not going to do this. A lot of people quit at that point. And you just got to have this belief. I will tell you, there's good news. After your first deal and it starts to be successful, you start believing then that you know what you're doing. And that's when it becomes even more dangerous, because you think you know what you're doing because you did it once. So you just got to be even more careful on subsequent deals. But that's kind of how I made that jump, right? You make it a little bit at a time, and all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, I just did it, right? You don't go from today being one way and tomorrow being in that. I mean, this is a process that takes a couple of years. And I remember running that property while I still worked at Deloitte. And it was hard because I was working 80 hours a week. So, I had to figure out how, I got up at 5 a.m. to pay the bills and do things, so there's these levels of commitment that you have to go through. Now that's assuming that you want to actually get into the business and quit your day job and make this your life's work. That makes that assumption. Most people don't want to do that. Most people want to stay passive, and that makes sense for a lot of people. But for those who want to make that jump, that's the kind of commitment you need. And if you like the content that we've shared here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell. So thank you again, and have a wonderful day.